You would think that a country which experienced the horrors of apartheid like South Africa would be a little bit more knowledgeable about what genocide is. Sadly, South Africa under the ANC has become a failed state, obsessively condemning Israel while aiding and abetting some of the world's most horrific dictators and human rights abusers, including Venezuela, Cuba, Russia, and Iran. This is despite the fact that regimes like that in Iran are actively practicing gender apartheid. The Islamic Republic's values fundamentally contradict the South African Constitution, yet the ANC has close ties and even put up billboards of the ANC side by side with Islamic regime officials. Even when Iranians were in the streets protesting, when women were being shot in the eyes, imprisoned and tortured by the regime, the ANC government actually invited Islamic regime president Raisi to South Africa. Is this how the ANC views women? I suppose it's not surprising given the fact that under the ANC, South Africa has become one of the most dangerous countries in the world for women, leading the entire world in rape and having astronomical numbers of domestic violence and general violent crime. But while the ANC is busy smearing Israel, they're failing their own people. They can't keep the lights on in the country with daily nationwide rolling blackouts. They have a life expectancy that's lower than Palestinians. They have been dubbed the headquarters for terrorist financing for Africa, which resulted in the country being grey-listed for failure to adhere to terror finance laws. They have a Hamas office in Cape Town, have repeatedly welcomed Hamas terrorists, and use South African tax dollars to fund the PLO embassy in South Africa. After the October 7th massacre, South Africa's foreign minister visited Iran, met with terrorist leaders, and even spoke with Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, congratulating him on the attack. Even when Israel has offered to help South Africa deal with internal food scarcity and agriculture issues, the ANC has spoken out against it. It was also the ANC which led the campaign against Israel's observer status in the African Union, even though Israel's done tremendous work to assist many African nations with development and agricultural tech. Now, instead of condemning Hamas for sexual violence, torture, murder, and kidnapping, all in accordance with the genocidal Hamas charter, South Africa's ANC is accusing Israel of genocide? The South African government's obsession with Israel and support for terror is pure self-sabotage. It's a violation of the South African Constitution itself, and the ANC's extremism has turned a democratic nation into a supporter of dictatorships. South African people deserve better. This is anti-Semitic hypocrisy, and it should be universally condemned.